My friend, your mouth is a workshop. Your tongue is a construction crew. And your words are building your future. The question is, what are you building? A palace or a prison? Because every sound you let escape your lips is either laying bricks of blessing or stacking stones of struggle. You think you're just talking, but no, you're designing. You are the architect. And your life, it's the house your words built. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why the most important conversation you will ever have in your life is not with your boss, not with your family, not even with the world. It is with your words are building your future. Choose the blueprint. Every single thing you see in your life right now began first as a word. Before it became a reality, before it became a situation, before it became a result, it was a spoken word. Words are like architectural plans for the life you are building. They are the blueprint, the lines on the paper, the instructions your subconscious mind will follow to create your tomorrow. If you don't like the building you're living in right now, the financial house, the relationship house, the health house, it's because of the blueprint you've been using. And that blueprint is written by your mouth. Your words are not just sound, they are creative forces. When you speak, you are sending out commands into the universe, into your mind, into the people around you. You are telling life, this is how I want you to be. And life, like a skilled builder, takes those instructions and goes to work. But here is the secret. The builder doesn't question you. It doesn't say, wait, did you mean to build something so small? Did you mean to add this problem here? Are you sure you wanted to leave that part empty? No, it simply builds according to the instructions you give. If you give it small, scared, negative instructions, you get a small, scared, negative life. Most people don't realize they are the architect of their own existence. They speak as if they are helpless witnesses to whatever happens, saying things like, that's just my luck, or I'm always broke, or people always treat me this way. But the truth is, those words are the blueprint. The builder is just doing its job. And the tragedy is, many people will spend more time carefully planning a weekend trip than they will planning the words they speak over their own lives. When you understand that every word is a design, you will start to choose them like a master architect chooses the materials for a skyscraper. You will refuse to put cheap, broken materials into your foundation. You will stop saying I can't and replace it with I will find a way. You will stop saying I'm unlucky and replace it with I am divinely faith. You will stop saying things never work out for me and replace it with things are always working in my favor. Every time you make this shift, you are drawing a new line on the blueprint. You are ordering new materials for the construction site of your future. And here is the thing. It's not instant. You don't speak one positive word and wake up tomorrow in a whole new life. Just like construction, it takes consistency. But every day that you speak according to the life you want, you are adding walls, windows, floors, and a roof to that vision. Eventually, it will stand solid in your reality. The opposite is also true. Every day you speak in a way that tears down, you are demolishing your own progress. That's why the choice is so serious. You either live in a palace of your own design, or in the ruins of your careless word. You have the pen in your hand, you have the plans in front of you. You have the power to create. The question is, will you choose a blueprint worthy of the life you truly desire? The most important conversation is with yourself. Every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay your head down, you are talking to yourself. It might not be out loud, but it is constant. This conversation shapes how you see yourself, how you act, how you react, and what you believe is possible. If you want to know why your life looks the way it does, listen to how you speak to yourself. You see, other people's voices can influence you, but your own voice has the final say. You can have people telling you you're amazing, you're talented, you're capable, but if your inner voice says, I'm not good enough, you will live according to that. On the other hand, people can tell you that you can't do it, that you'll never make it, but if your inner voice says, I will rise, you will rise. The conversation you have with yourself is more than thoughts. It's training for your mind. Your self-talk is like a coach in your ear. And depending on what that coach says, you will either step into the game with power or shrink back into the shadows. That's why the most dangerous habit you can have is negative self-talk. When you tell yourself you're stupid, when you call yourself a failure, when you rehearse your mistakes over and over, you are hypnotizing yourself into believing a lie. And once you believe it, you will live it. The good news is you can take control of this conversation. You can fire the old critical, sabotaging voice and replace it with one that lifts you up, encourages you, and speaks life over you. But this requires awareness. Most people are not even conscious of the things they say to themselves. Their inner conversation runs on autopilot, driven by past pain, childhood programming, and the influence of others. You have to wake up and start listening. You have to catch yourself in the act and replace every damaging word with a word that builds. This is not about empty flattery. It's about speaking truth that empowers. The truth is, you are more capable than you think. The truth is, you have survived every single challenge you've faced so far. The truth is, you are worthy of the dreams in your heart. But you must tell yourself these truths until your mind believes them so deeply that they become your reflex thoughts. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you leave it untuned, you'll pick up static and random noise. But when you set it deliberately, you receive the signal you want, loud and clear. Your self-talk is the same. If you leave it alone, it will be filled with static from your past, from other people's opinions, from your fears. But when you take control, you tune it to the frequency of victory, abundance, and peace. Every goal you have, every relationship you want, every change you hope to make, it all starts with this conversation. Because what you say to yourself determines what you believe, and what you believe determines what you do. And what you do creates your life. Speak blessings, not curses, over your life. Every single word you speak over your life is either a blessing or a curse. There is no middle ground. Every statement you make about yourself, your future, your health, your money, your relationships, it is either planting a seed of increase or planting a seed of destruction. Many people do not realize that they curse themselves daily without even knowing it. They do it when they say, I can't afford that. They do it when they say, I'm just unlucky. They do it when they say, this always happens to me. And with each of those words, they are building walls around their own potential. They are speaking limitations into existence. It's not about superstition. It's about spiritual law. The energy you release with your words sets the tone for the energy that comes back to you. You can stand in the middle of a beautiful opportunity and miss it completely because your mouth is still speaking defeat. You can be surrounded by possibilities and yet live as if they do not exist, simply because you have trained your mind to expect the worst and your mouth to confess it. What most people call reality is often just the harvest of the words they have been speaking for years. A blessing is not just a religious act. A blessing is a declaration of good. It is calling forth what you want to see. It is announcing your victory before the battle is even over. When you speak blessings over your life, you are not ignoring your current situation. You are rewriting it. You are saying, this may be where I am now, but this is not where I am staying. Blessings change the atmosphere inside you and around you. They lift your faith, they shift your perspective, and they open your mind to solutions that were invisible before. Curses, on the other hand, close doors. They shrink your possibilities. They convince your own mind that you cannot rise, and once your mind is convinced, you will not even attempt the things that could set you free. A person who says, I can't, has already decided not to try. A person who says, I'll never have enough, has already refused the opportunity to receive more. It is not that life has denied them. They have denied themselves through their own declarations. You have the choice every day to speak life or speak death over your future. This choice happens in the small, unnoticed moments. In casual conversations, in private thoughts you say out loud, in the way you describe your life to others. Speak blessings when you talk about your health. I am strong, I am healing. My body is aligned with health and vitality. Speak blessings when you talk about your money. I am wealthy in mind, spirit, and resources. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected places. Speak blessings when you talk about your relationships. I am surrounded by love. I attract people who lift me up and encourage me. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about choosing to declare the truth you want to see, rather than repeating the problem you want to escape. Every time you speak a blessing, you are giving your mind an image to work toward, and you are sending a command to the unseen forces of life to align with that image.
Every time you speak a curse, you are locking that image into place and giving it power over you. Blessings are like rain on fertile soil. They nourish the seeds of your dreams. They make them grow. They give them life. Curses are like poison in the same soil. They kill the growth before it has a chance to break through. The soil does not care what you pour into it. It will respond to whatever you give it. That is why you must guard your words like a treasure chest. You cannot afford to let a careless curse slip from your lips, because it will take root, just like a blessing would. The discipline of speaking blessings takes practice. At first, it will feel unnatural. You will be tempted to slip back into old habits of complaining, doubting, and confessing fear. But the more you catch yourself, the more you replace curses with blessings, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, your first instinct will be to bless yourself, even in difficulty. And when that happens, you will notice your life shifting in ways you cannot explain, not because of luck, but because of law.
You cannot talk defeat and live in victory. There is a direct connection between the language you speak and the life you live. You cannot talk sickness, failure, lack, and limitation every day and then expect to walk in health, success, abundance, and freedom. Your words are the steering wheel of your life. Wherever they turn, you will follow. If your words are constantly pointed toward defeat, you will arrive in defeat, no matter how much you want victory in your heart. Wanting victory is not enough. You must speak it. You must claim it with the authority of someone who refuses to settle for less. Think of your words as orders given to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not argue with you. It simply accepts what you say as truth and begins to look for ways to make it real. If you say, "I can't do this," your subconscious accepts it and stops trying to find solutions. If you say, "This will never work," your subconscious agrees and closes the door on creativity. On the other hand, if you say, "I will find a way," your subconscious begins searching for every possible path to make it happen. The words you speak determine whether your mind becomes your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. Defeat is not just an event. It is a mindset. People can experience setbacks and still live in victory if they refuse to speak defeat over themselves. And people can experience small wins and still live in defeat if they constantly talk themselves down. Your mouth has the power to lock you into either reality. That is why the discipline of speech is so critical. It is not enough to avoid negative thinking. You must also avoid negative speaking. Living in victory begins with speaking victory. This means that even when the evidence in front of you looks like failure, you still declare success. You still say, "This is temporary. I am coming through this stronger than before. I am the head and not the tail." Speaking like this does not make you delusional. It makes you determined. It aligns your mind, your emotions, and your energy with the outcome you desire, and that alignment is what draws opportunities and solutions into your path. Defeatist language is subtle. It hides in jokes you make about yourself, in small complaints you repeat every day, in the way you describe your situation to friends. You might think you are just being real or ning, but your subconscious is taking every word as an instruction. You must become aware of these hidden forms of defeat in your speech and replace them immediately with words of victory. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible with money," say, "I'm learning to master my finance." Instead of saying, "I'm not lucky in love," say, "I attract love that is healthy and lasting." This is not about ignoring problems. It is about refusing to let problems define your identity. When you speak defeat, you make the problem part of you. When you speak victory, you place yourself above the problem. Victory language reminds you that you are not your mistakes, not your circumstances, not your past. You are bigger than them, and you have the power to overcome them. The more you speak victory, the more you begin to believe it. And when you believe it, you act differently. You make different choices. You pursue different opportunities. You carry yourself with a confidence that changes the way people respond to you. Speaking victory sets a chain reaction in motion that transforms not just your inner world, but your outer world as well. Your environment begins to reflect the language you use. Doors open where they were once closed. Solutions appear where there were once only obstacles. You not talk defeat and expect to live in victory, because your life will always match your language. If you want victory, you must
must speak like a victor. You must fill your mouth with words that declare your strength, your resilience, your abundance, your worth. Every conversation, every thought spoken aloud, every declaration you make, it must be aligned with the vision of victory you hold in your heart. And when your mouth and your heart are united in that vision, nothing can hold you down.
Pass every word through the royal test. Every word that comes out of your mouth should be treated as if it were a decree issued from a throne, because in truth it is. You are the ruler of your own life, and your words are law within your kingdom. If you speak carelessly, you pass careless laws that govern your future. That is why you need a standard, a way to judge whether a word deserves to leave your lips. This is where the royal test comes in. Before you speak, you ask yourself 3 questions. Does it lift me? Does it bless me? Does it move me toward the life I want? If the answer to any of those questions is no, the word should not pass your mouth. This test forces you to become intentional about your speech. It stops you from releasing words that would weaken your confidence, poison your faith, or reinforce your fears. If you say something that tears you down instead of building you up, you fail the test. If you speak something that drains hope instead of planting it, you fail the test. If you release a statement that keeps you stuck in your current state rather than moving you closer to your vision, you fail the test. And failing this test has consequences, because every word that escapes your lips takes root somewhere. Most people allow their words to run wild like untamed horses, not realizing that each one is carrying the weight of their future. They joke about their flaws. They exaggerate their limitations. They repeat phrases they've heard without thinking about the damage they do. The royal test puts a guard at the gate of your mouth. It demands that your words serve you, not sabotage you. This discipline will feel strange at first, because you will catch yourself in moments you never noticed before, when you're talking casually with friends, when you're frustrated, when you're tired. But over time, the test will become second nature, and your speech will transform. When you begin to pass your words through the royal test, you start to notice that your conversations change. You no longer waste energy repeating the same complaints. You no longer join in with others when they speak defeat or doom over their lives. You start to stand apart, not because you are pretending life is perfect, but because you have chosen to protect your future with the power of your tongue. And each time you choose a word that passes the test, you are reinforcing your role as the ruler of your own destiny. 3 days of royal talk will change your life. There is a reason this challenge is set for 3 days. 3 days is long enough to break the surface of your habits, to make you aware of how you have been speaking, and to begin rewiring your instinctive responses. In just 3 days of disciplined, deliberate, elevated speech, you will notice a difference in your thoughts, your emotions, and even the way people respond to you. The words you speak for these 3 days must be royal words, words of dignity, strength, and authority. No self-insults, no defeatist declarations, no careless curses over your future, only speech that passes the royal test. At first you may feel resistance. Your old patterns will try to pull you back. You will feel the temptation to just say something negative, to be real in the old way. But the discipline of these 3 days is like training a powerful animal. You must hold the reins firmly. You must catch yourself before the wrong word escapes. You must replace it instantly with a royal word. When you do this consistently for 3 days, your mind begins to shift. Your subconscious begins to expect victory language. Your emotional state begins to rise because you are no longer feeding it the poison of self-defeat. 3 days may sound short, but when every hour is filled with conscious speech, it becomes an intense transformation. You will start to notice your awareness growing sharper. You will hear other people's words differently, because you are now tuned to a higher standard. You will feel the energy of your own voice changing, carrying authority instead of weakness, vision instead of fear. These 3 days are a reset, a deliberate break from the old cycle of careless speaking, and the beginning of a new habit that can carry you far beyond the challenge. Once you experience how 3 days of royal talk shifts your inner world and your outer world, you will understand why it is so powerful. You will see the connection between what you say and what shows up in your life in a way you may have never seen before. And when you taste that kind of power, you will not want to return to the old way of speaking. Now you've seen it. The blueprint is in your hands. You've learned that your words are not just casual sounds, they are royal decrees. You've learned the most important voice in your life is your own, and it must speak blessings, not curses. You've learned that you cannot talk defeat and live in victory because your life will always rise or fall to the level of your language. You have the royal test, your guard at the gates to filter every word before it leaves your mouth. And you have a challenge, 3 days, 72 hours of speaking like a ruler, commanding the life you want, refusing to speak anything less than dignity, abundance, and victory. For these 3 days, you are the king or queen of your destiny, passing laws with your lips, building your future brick by brick, word by word. Now go speak like royalty, live like royalty, and watch your life bow to the power of your own word.